Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the World Financial Group Jim Selvin Classic from Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club in St. John, New Brunswick. My name is Keith Rains, and I'm joined in the booth this evening by the famous Kevin.
Not so famous.
Kevin Baba. Well, you are, or you will be, because you're going to be the, 36th, 37th Riverboat Classic captain?
That's right. Yeah,
and that's
next fall.
For next fall. Yeah. So we expect big things.
And big things will happen. I don't know if they're going to be necessarily good, but big things will happen.
Big things will happen. Well, this is the final draw of the evening for the ladies. And in our marquee matchup this evening, we have the Shelley Graham. And why don't you tell the folks at home who's on Shelley's team?
Well, there's Shelley Graham, Skip. Connie Nickel is throwing mate stones. Taryn Abernathy from South Tediga, she's filling in at second stone, and Jane McGinn is the lead. And
Graham has a record of 1-2. They'll be shooting the yellow stones, and they'll going up against Team Pickney,
who is Colleen Pickney from Truro. The rest of the team plays out of the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, but Bridget McPhail, Caitlin Veach, and Mary Driscoll. Mary does throw the skip stones on the team.
And they have a record of 2-1. And there's 10 teams in the ladies' side. 6 will be going on to the playoffs. And I'll just give you a current rundown of the standings so far. We have Armstrong at 3-0, Robichaud at 2-1, Heidi Hanlon at 2-1, Robin McPhee of Prince Edward Island at 2-1, Malay at 2-1, Smith 1-2, Tatlock at 0-3, and Hicks at 0-3. But we do have games where a lot of the 2-1 teams are playing against each other this evening. McPhee is taking on Malay. Robichaud is taking on Hanlon. So they're both 2-1. And Hicks, 0-3, is taking on Armstrong, who's 3-0. And Veronica Smith, who's 1-2, is taking on Shannon Tatlock at 0-3. And then in our match, we have Pickney at 2-1 taking on Graham at 1-2. And if you're not confused by that, then you can continue to listen to the program.
You can just keep updating the scores, and as you do, you can update the potential impact on the standings. And so you can keep an eye on that, can't you?
Oh, right.
I know you've been studying the standings for a little while before this draw.
Well, this is always the fun. I mean, today obviously is moving day, and these are the last ones. So there's going to be some implications here, like even with. If Graham can win this to go 2-2, there's going to be some other teams at 2-2. So then it's going to come down to that measurement on the button, Kevin.
Every before the game, every team draws to the button, and those are accumulated over the course of the weekend, and they help determine the tiebreakers. Positioning. And
I have a feeling they're going to come into effect this evening. Now, who all gets together, Kevin, when, like, say, after this round is done, who all goes into the war room and starts deciding and looking at all the stats and everything and who's in and who's out?
I don't know if there's a war room as such. I don't even know if there's anyone who does that. The organizers can just look at. They keep a running.
This is the new captain of the Riverboat Classic.
Well, they have a pretty good idea of where everyone is.
Who are they? You know,
the organizers.
Whoever they. Well, I understand some of the organizers are in Ottawa.
Well, they are a few. A few of them are having a good time in Ottawa, but I'm sure Sean Thompson downstairs has a very good handle on where everyone is supposed to be tomorrow.
Okay, I feel better now.
Shelley Graham does have the hammer in the first end, and now they're sitting 2.
They're going to get some demerit marks because they haven't put their names up on the score thing yet. We're keeping close tabs on that, and since it is the marquee game here that we're televising, webcasting, he thought they might have want to put their name up on the score. So we're going to have to knock off a few points there, okay?
Well, you got to keep a close eye on it. You got to find out what's happening in the first end. If you go down early, you don't want to put your name up on the scoreboard.
Ah, there, that's how it works. Now I understand. And we have all 8 sheets going this evening. Like I said, 5, all 10 teams on the women's side are in action, and we have 3 sheets of the men competing tonight in their last round. We have one more round this evening. That's at 9 o'clock. This evening we're going to be going up against Hockey Night in Canada, but we'll you can watch that on TV and watch us on your computer to keep up to date on what's happening with your friends and family that are competing here tonight, wherever you might be. Nice shot there. Roll over, and no, it's going to be out.
Some of the men's games going on sheet 8, we have Dobson against Sullivan. The interesting thing about this is skipping the Dobson rink is a Sullivan. Charlie Sullivan Jr. is playing against his uncle, Dave Sullivan. On sheet 7, we have Mayhew against Wade Talon. And on the sheet 5, it's
Dexter and Murphy.
Dexter and Murphy. Murphy's must be one of the tallest teams here.
If they
These
can't,
guys are huge.
well, I think they got a basketball tournament coming up after this. Jamie Murphy is. Jamie was here last year.
I understand he's from this area.
Originally, he is. Yeah. Another little nugget. I should just make a little check mark to all the nuggets you're going to be giving out tonight, because I know you have a ton of them in there.
Well, I have 3, maybe. So I don't want to use up all the nuggets in the first end.
No.
There'll be no reason to watch.
That's right. See, that's true. And we've got some information on a New Year's gathering that's happening in our city that I understand that all the curling community will be invited to.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to that one. That's it's pretty exciting news.
Someone told me it was a 22 holiday drive, but I really don't know if that's the case or not. So
we'll have to confirm that. We don't want to be fake news.
Anyway, I can see his fingers right now texting us.
I just want to say I didn't say that. That was just one of the rumors going around the club here.
I had nothing
Huge.
to do with
I
it.
hear a huge gather, and what a wonderful person to open up their house to, for New Year's.
Well, he's a very nice individual. He graced me with his presence last evening for a little while. He dropped by and we listened to some tunes and talked about world events.
Well, and I understand this person too is the type of person that is going to buy a snowblower to help remove snow from people's driveways in his neighborhood that can't do it themselves.
No, actually, it's already been purchased.
Okay.
So.
Did you share the cost in that?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm still paying for it.
Thank goodness you have a truck so you can move it around too. There's a nice shot there.
Just got it.
Yep.
A touch of it. Just enough to move it out.
The ladies are playing very quickly here, obviously with a nice clean house. We saw that in our previous match. Thompson from Nova Scotia was playing Jones. Thompson did not have hammer for 7 ends. Was up 3-0. Nothing happened in the first. He stole one in the second, stole one in the third, and stayed that way for the longest time. And it wasn't until the 7th end where Jones got a point to make it 3-1. So Thompson had the hammer in the last end.
I played some games where I've never gotten the hammer. Some of those games is probably with my neighbor and friend Brian.
Wow, another nugget.
Yeah. There's a few of them. Just never got the hammer.
Now, is that because you were stealing points all the time, or no?
No, actually, that's definitely not true because we always had the hammer, and we still couldn't do anything with it. So an open hit.
So obviously, if Pickney can take this game, which will be huge for that will solidify their opportunity in the playoffs to get out of those tie breaks and those measurements and everything else, because there are going to be teams at 2-2 here at the end of this evening. So only 6 teams will go on. The top 2 get a bye into the semis, and 3 and 6 and 4 and 5 will play off in a quarterfinal. That'll be tomorrow morning at 8:30. Semis will be at noon, and championship final will be at 3 p.m. And we'll be here to broadcast it all. I don't know who will be sitting beside me. It's a lottery. Kevin decides on that. But we always have a great group that helps us out here up in the booth here during the games. This evening, I understand we have Jeremy Mallet's father.
Yes, he's coming in at 9 o'clock.
Arnold?
Yep, that's right.
So it'd be great to have him give his expert analysis on the tournament to date.
This is the last stone of the end, open house. Obviously, Shelley's going to throw it through the house. It's a fairly clean end. Didn't waste much time.
No, they're ahead of everyone else. Well, I guess except for the first sheet down there. McPhee's game. They just started the second end.
They haven't posted a score yet. As soon as they do, we'll let you know.
If you have a chance, folks, join Vibe TV1 Scott Squires as he chats with Sir Lunny on CTV's Sideline Scoop each Monday at 8:40 a.m. Atlantic, 9:10 a.m. Newfoundland. Get up to date on Bellline Vibe TV1's weekly AUS sports coverage at Sideline Scoop Mondays on CTV Morning Live Atlantic. And we do have one more draw this evening. That'll be at 9 p.m. And we'll have 6 sheets in action then on the men's side.
Colleen Pickney is throwing. She throws lead stones for this team. Colleen is a 2-time former Canadian senior champion, and in 2010 she was on the World Championship senior team. She's working with a younger team this season.
Yeah, give them some guidance and things. And like I said, once she gets done her shoot, she goes into the house and calls the game.
Turn draw, come around. Looks like it might be a little hot. No, settling nicely. I don't think it's going to bury it. Still half the stone showing, so. Mary Driscoll has Colleen put in top of the 4 foot hanging out there quite a bit. It's going to have to finish. Might be a little bit too hot, though. Too much weight.
One thing about the sweeper so far, they haven't had a lot of work to do. That's just a little too far. Well, we'd like to thank our sponsors for this weekend. Obviously, Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club, World Financial Group, Molson Coors, Canadian Mental Health Association, and of course, Bell TV1. Without them, we wouldn't be here. We'd be, let's see, where would I be? 5 after 6 Saturday night. I could be out and about. 'Tis the season. See, this way I'm saving money.
Yeah, exactly.
Watching great curling and saving money. What a great combination. And for all you folks, just to let you know, it is no charge to come to Thistle if you want to pop in and check out the action this evening. And obviously you can make a donation if you so desire to the Canadian Mental Health Association. That would be much appreciated. And also tomorrow, Championship Sunday. We'd love to see you come over and cheer on the men and women as they vie for the championship. And this is a great tune-up for both, but especially for the ladies, as the Scotties provincially will be getting underway January 3rd to 7th in Moncton, New Brunswick. I was talking with the Malay team. There is one more event that they're going to compete in. It's down in St. Andrews, but it's basically a seeding tournament, if you want to say. But their key reason to play in it was it's going to be 10 ends, where here we play 8 ends. And it is, Kevin, a little different, not only mentally but physically playing 10 end games.
Well, it is, unless you're my neighbor with his new broom who doesn't sweep at all through 8 ends, so through 10 ends it wouldn't be much of a difference for him. So.
Ouch. That's a burn. I feel here it just got warmer in this room. Just got warmer. I don't think Buckley turned the heat up.
You'll notice on this side of the sheet, in this end in particular, you have a lot of break. The ladies are having a hard time finding their weight. Been a couple that have been a little heavy, and now some of them are light. But the difference from one that ended up in the back 8 foot, it may have curled 2 feet, 2.5 feet, but one that stopped at the top of the 12 actually curled about 5. So that's how sensitive the ice is to weight. So we're looking at the other side of the sheet now. Placed nicely in there. Get a shot rock.
Behind some coverage, nice shot, and they got a lot of protection behind it too. So we have lots of rocks in play this end, Kevin.
Shelley's looking at opening up the front a little bit. She does have the hammer. So she wants to be able to see the 4 foot with her last shot. And the red stone's in a very good place at the top of the button, in front of the tee line. She thinks she has the angles all figured out.
There we go.
That one's going this way, that one's going here, and that's the plan.
Staying on that inside.
Just get rid of one. No, she pushes the other one over. Gets a nice little roll. Well done.
Yep.
Very nice shot.
She'll take it. So it was a plan B.
Actually, I think that was her plan A.
Was that plan A?
Yeah. She looked at the angles, and she knew if she came off one or pushed the other one over, and I think the nice roll, she wasn't. She was just hoping for that. I don't think it was anticipated.
That was bonus.
As you can see, she's taking ice middle of the 12-foot. Should curl almost 5 feet if the weight is on. A little bit more. She's taking a little bit more ice.
No brooms on it yet. No, they're on it.
See, it's a little bit heavier. She's hoping for the rub.
Oh,
She's looking for a draw. Bridget threw a little too much weight. A little bit more than what Colleen was expecting. Shirley is asking Connie Nickel to. She suggested driving into the 4-foot, and now she's talking about the raise takeout. Connie is actually from my hometown. She's from northern New Brunswick.
What part of northern New Brunswick are you from?
Dalhousie.
Really?
Connie's throwing big weight. Is that it?
Oh, just missed. It's dry, but it opens up the front of the house now.
Exactly. Colleen Pickney is asking Bridget McPhail to replace that stone, which was just eliminated. So now they're just sweeping for line. And get it over to the center line. A bit further, maybe. Does leave part of the stone exposed, maybe half of it to 3/4 of it. Shelley wants quiet weight, back line weight. Just get it on the corner. Try not to disturb the yellow stone on the back of the 4-foot. It's moving on there now.
Got it by.
That curl a lot.
At the end there.
Yeah. A lot more than she expected. So it's now where to place this one. Behind the center guard, top 4-foot would be good. Take away the inside angle. So Shelley Graham would be forced to play from the outside, and if she does try to remove the red stone, there's all kinds of jam possibilities in the back of the 4-foot.
So is this Bridget McPhail? I'm just looking at the list here because I know Colleen is the skip, but she's lead. So
she's thrown lead stones. That's right.
So is this Bridget McPhail? Because they don't have names on it.
This is actually Mary Driscoll throwing the first of the skip stones.
Okay, that's Mary.
Yes.
Okay. If we're incorrect, we apologize. But are you confirming that is Mary? Just want it's Kevin Babin.
Yeah, send all the hate letters to me. So that was actually excellently placed. The Graham team can't get to the inside of the red stone on the corner of the button, so they have to come from the in-turn side. I do know that it finishes hard with the proper weight. So she could get over almost to the face of that shot stone. Fortunately, she can't move it too far, because if she does, then it won't curl enough to get over there. So. Over on sheet 3, Armstrong is leading Hicks 2-0. That's after one end. They are in the second end. Rubshaw is leading Heidi Hanlon by the same 2-0 score.
Shelley trying to come in here.
Ideally, she would like to leave that a couple of feet
Up in front there.
up in front, so you can still get the angle on the shot stone.
Here's the final shot for Pickney squad.
Colleen understands that she puts another red one on the button, that there's a chance they could steal 2 here. It'd be very difficult to move the stones. So if she puts it to the face of the yellow stone, right where her broom is, it's going to be tough to move.
Swiping hard there. Good work. Down hard. Trying to bring it up.
A little late. Now they're looking at angles. Hit the red. You can't get to the nose of it. So it is going to go across the house, across the 4 foot. So it's a question on if will it jam on the yellow or.
Yeah. Because, I mean, obviously she could pick that out somehow. She'd be lying too.
I can see a possibility of her giving up too if she's not careful. The red could come off the center side of the yellow stone and squeeze that over the top.
Look at you.
And
that's why you're the captain.
The one at the red stone at the back of the 8 foot could come in as a counter. Mayhew's leading Talon 1-0. They're also in the second end. Smith is up 1-0 on Tatlock. And Robin McPhee has a 2-0 lead over Mallet, and that is she's got 2 in the second end, so they are in their third end.
Here's the final shot of the second end for Shelley Graham.
Sweepers are on it.
just touched it. So a steal of 1. For Pickney. And we had all kinds of rocks in play that in, Kevin.
It's fun to watch.
Where was such a clean end. The first, the second end, the ladies decide let's put everything in play. So Graham will retain the hammer as we get ready for the third end. Visit bellalliant.ca/TV1 for a community channel schedule. TV1 is available to Vive customers in Atlantic Canada on Channel 1. Vive TV1, powered by Bell Alliant. Keith Rains, Kevin Babin, is in the house. And the social director of the Cecil St. Andrews has just come into the house here too.
Yeah, I'm not talking to him. Ruined my whole Saturday. I'm feeding free liquor all night. I'm not doing it again.
Bonner's in the house.
So Mary Driscoll wants Colleen to just caught a glimpse of it, but I think she wants it in the 4-foot, top of the 4.
A little heavy there. Putting it in the back of the house, it might go right on through. She puts her hands up. Finally, it stopped. And that's funny. You get some of those. You just let it go. So I can't believe. Why doesn't it stop? It just keeps going. It's like the ever-ready battery. It just keeps going and going and going. Girls are having a good chuckle over it. As we golf terminology, if you putt like that, you say grow grass, grow, please. This weekend on the curling scene, we have in Moncton, New Brunswick, we have the junior championships going on up there. And starting today was the Roar of the Rings, as they promoting it in Ottawa for the right to represent Canada at the Olympics in Korea. So that's going to be a big week of curling in Ottawa. And on the provincial scene, from big events, we'll have the Scotties will be in Moncton in January. The Tankard for the men will be in the Miramichi in February. The U18 National Championships will be in St. Andrews, New Brunswick, April 9th to 14th. And so that's a big on the calendar of events.
Where's Bill Gates? It's a real Bill Gates in the corner.
Red sitting 2. Notice that the Pickney team didn't call for any stones in front of the house. They're more than happy to play in the house this end and maybe force Graham to take her 1 so they can get the hammer.
On the national curling scene, the World Financial Group Continental Cup will be January 11th to 14th in London, Ontario. The New Holland Canadian Juniors will be in January 13th in Shawinigan. Scotties Tournament of Hearts will be at the end of January in Picticton, BC. The Tim Hortons Briar will be starting March 3rd, and that will be in Regina, Saskatchewan this year. And the Ford World Women's Curling Championships will be March 17th in North Bay, Ontario. Gets everyone up to date on what's happening locally and nationally on the curling scene in Canada.
Heidi Hanlon scored 2 in the second end to Tab Sylvie Robichaud. They're got a 2 playing third. And Hicks takes 1 in the second end. So she trails Jen Armstrong 2-1. And Armstrong has the hammer. There's another Dalhousie on the Armstrong team, another Dalhousie connection. My cousin's daughter is on that team.
So Dalhousie's a hotbed for curling. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
It was.
It was.
It was.
It was.
Well, and also
The two of us moved out of town, so.
noticed yesterday Mark Lecoq was on the ice.
Yes.
Mark's from Dalhousie.
Wow. Yeah, Mark has been a great advocate of curling over the years. Just very, very solid, consistent performer.
Mayhew just stole 2 on Wayne Talon. So he takes a 3-0 lead after the second end. And Dexter and Murphy have blanked the first 2 wins. They are in their third.
Murphy hasn't quite committed to if he wants to play or not because he hasn't put his name up on the scoreboard yet. So is that Fleming's fault? Is that the mate? Should the
No,
mate be
that's
doing
the,
that? It's not.
Well, it depends. Depends which team you're on.
Oh. Where is Stephen Thompson? He should be out there putting those signs up. Where is Thompson when you need him?
That's Stone by Taryn Epnath. He just stayed out, didn't come back in, so he is going for a third red one in the house, looking at the corner of the 4-foot. It's not panic time. The Redstones are all open. Still like to generate, if you're Shelley Graham, still like to generate your 2 points.
Okay, it's time to get rid of some of these red stones now.
There might be a double there, or hit and roll.
Shelley's calling for.
No, calling her off. She was outside. Kind of throwing her outside.
In a rush on it.
Might get the back one.
Yeah. Boom. There. Okay, get rid of 1. Looking for 2, but we'll take 1.
It surprises me how often jam went in the back of the house. It seems to me that it happens more times than
Comes into play quite a bit, doesn't it?
more times. The stone ends up sticking around rather than just picking it off and both of them rolling out. I was asking some of the curlers today about the ice. Seem to like it.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of good responses. Someone said that's one of the best ice surfaces they played on in a while. Kudos to the organizing committee and especially the fine work. Now, who is your ice master?
Bob Metz. He's working on the ice all the time. So.
Yeah.
Now that was the Pinckney team didn't want to put one in front of the house at this point because it does give
a guard.
Yes, Connie Nickel a chance to hit and roll behind, although I think she is going to roll too far. But it does set up a possibility of getting your 2, because now you have, as it sits now, the only stone in place well back at the house, so there's a little bit of backing and you have something to go behind. But of course, Colleen would wants to take advantage of that situation. She's asking Mary to put one just at the top of the forefoot behind the guard.
Nice shot. Right on the button. Our last draw this evening will be at 9 o'clock. There will be some speeches and things going on this evening for half hour or so, Kevin?
Yeah, some very quick speeches. So people to some of the organizing committee will be speaking, just saying a few words.
Last year was very nice. Greg Zed gave a great speech talking about mental health and the challenges that we have in our community. Greg is obviously a great advocate of prevention, and he spoke very well last year. Is there some representative of Canadian mental health going to be speaking this evening, Kevin? Do you know? Or
I'm not sure. I noticed Dawn was downstairs a little bit earlier speaking to people and saying hi to them as they came into the curling rink. I know that they were hoping to get someone this evening, but I'm not sure if they're able to shore anyone up.
Yeah. And after this end, there's a little bit, if you're tuning in for the first time, obviously if you have family and friends curling tonight, there might be your first chance to tune in. So after this end, I'll give you a little information about why we're here and about Jim Sullivan and the accomplishments that he had done during his lifetime in the world of curling. So I'll share that with you, just to give you a little bit more meaning why this event has happened for the last 6 years. And it's obviously turned into a great competitive tournament. Like I said, it's a full contingent of teams here, 18 men's teams, 10 women's teams. So they're coming for a great cause, excellent competition, and as Kevin said, playing at an excellent venue.
She doesn't want to jam this takeout on the back. She looks fine.
Nice shot.
Slide it by.
Yep.
So it forces Graham to play for her one. There isn't a chance of I don't think there is, unless she throws very big weight to get both of them and actually get the shooter to roll out to blank the end. This is the last shot of the end. So I think at this point she'd be very happy to take her one.
Final shot of the third end for Graham.
shot. She's got her nose to take her 1 point to tie up the game. 1-1 after 3 ends of play.
A little bit about Jim. Jim Sullivan, son of New Brunswick curling legend Dave Sullivan, took up the game of curling at age 12 and never looked back. His contributions to the game both on and off the ice left a lasting impression on the Atlantic and Canadian curling culture. Big, tall, and lanky, Jim could be seen smiling and talking to folks in curling clubs all across the Maritimes, and generally everyone he talked to smiled back. Jim had a large personality and love of people that earned him the reputation as being the nicest guy you ever want to lose to. And true to that reputation, Jim did his share of winning. He skipped the junior team, which captured the 1987 New Brunswick and Canadian Junior Men's Curling Championships and the 1988 World Junior Men's Curling Championship in Germany. The Sullivan Rink was New Brunswick's first world champion in any sport in more than 60 years. In 1990, Sullivan and his team were the silver medalists at the Labatt Brier, an era when 100 teams would turn out in New Brunswick for a shot at the provincial tankard versus 20 teams that we have today. The team was inducted into the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame in 1994. Jim won countless other titles, including at the high school level in mixed curling, cash spiels, Super League titles, and his favorite annual spiel, the Oromucto Open, held at the Gage Curling Club, where Jim won A section many times, taking home a boatload of prizes from the co-op. Jim was a lifetime member of the Capital Winter Club in Fredericton and was a member of TSA, where he organized and chaired the TSA Fundy Cash Spiel. Jim Sullivan's legacy goes without being beyond curling. The World Financial Group Jim Sullivan Curling Classic honors Jim, his passion for the game, and his friends in curling. Jim Sullivan.
Stone looks a little heavy. It's coming in nicely, but Shelley call off the sweepers right away. Gets a nose hit.
Well, we're all tied up here, Kevin. One apiece. We got a tight one.
Redstones has the hammer in this fourth end. Fairly, for the most part, a fairly defensive battle.
Yeah. We've got some other scores that are sort of got blown up here in the last few ends. Dobson's up on Sullivan 6-1. And Smith, on the ladies' side, Smith is up 5-1 over Tatlock.
Jennifer Armstrong picked up 2 in their third end, so she leads Kathy Hicks by a 4-1 score. They are now in their fourth end.
And Robichaux's up 6-2 over Hanlon, scoring 4.
Third end.
Yes. Ouch.
A lot of takeouts in this game. It's moving right along quite quickly. Tell by the lack of stones in play. So a lot of takeouts. The game tends to move along.
Well, not a lot of decision making has to be.
It doesn't take as long for the stone to get down the ice. So.
Unlike what we have going on in sheet 5 over there, where I think almost every rock is in play on the Dexter Murphy sheet.
Yeah, they have a crowded house. It looks like Dexter might be lying 2.
Speaking of crowded houses, there could be one this New Year's Eve.
I said what I had to say.
Yeah, okay. One of these inside.
And it's it's not my house.
It's someone else's house. Does he know he's having this New Year's
No,
gathering?
we're gonna tell him on the 28th or 29th.
Okay, let him know. It's good. That's nice.
Just to make sure there's some hors d'oeuvres there.
Yeah.
You know, when I say hors d'oeuvres, I mean bags of chips.
That's his hors d'oeuvres, is it?
Actually,
he goes all out.
He's an awfully good host. Yeah, he is. He's always preparing something to eat. So people are never disappointed. Been hit.
Good shot.
There's a double possibility, but
I'm liking it.
But Colleen, even if she just rolls behind the center guard, I think
She's
quite
happy?
happy with that. She does have the hammer, so she's trying to generate 2 points. So she might be better served by not taking up the second yellow stone.
Gotta like having a lefty on the team, though.
So she's just going to
Pretty
roll over
clean.
to the top of the button area.
Nice shot.
Don't want to roll too far. Unfortunately, rolled a little bit too far, so it gives Shelley Graham a chance to come the other way and push it out the open side.
You're tough, Kevin. You're tough.
I am.
Do you skip on your team?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Swing low, sweet chariot.
That was a very good shot. And just unfortunate that it rolled just to.
Well, now let's see. If Graham misses this, then it was a good shot. If she hits it,
Exactly.
and Graham call off the sweepers now that she got them on it. It's coming over. Yeah. Nice shot. Okay,
So-
you're right.
So now Colleen, look at the coming off the yellow one and moving into the top of the 4-foot. Try to utilize that center guard. Although the center guard is out quite far in front of the house and the ice swings a lot, it can still serve as a bit of a visual distraction. You can come around it, but just knowing it's there can provide a little bit of problem.
Let's wait. Now they want to hold the line.
A little bit too
Yeah.
much. A little too long, I think. I'm not sure if yellow is lying 1 or 2. But Shelley is asking Connie to drop one on the top of the 4-foot, log off the 4-foot a little bit. You might sail to the
Slow up. Shelley goes, no, I'll take care of that. I'll sweep it.
Well, it's very difficult to use a guard, especially one so far in front of the house, because the ice is so swingy.
Yes.
So it just came out the other side. It's wide open. Colleen can Now, if they can follow the last stone, follow path of the last stone, could come to the face of it or just a little bit in front of it, once again in front of the D line. She'd be happy with that. She wants to put her in a position where Shelley Graham has to make a play at it.
And I believe she's shot.
I believe she is shot.
Let's take a look. Yep. Red is shot.
Red is shot, but it's pretty much wide open, I believe. Dexter did end up scoring 2 in the third end, so he has taken a 2-0 lead over Jamie Murphy, and they are in the fourth end now. Sweepers are just keeping it clean.
Yep.
Nicely done.
Nice. Good job.
So Mary's going to be asked to put one behind that guard, top of the button. She doesn't want to overcurl it, obviously, but if she puts it in the right place, then it could be difficult to move because she does have a little bit of backing. Backing being the yellow stone. So if Shelley decides that she has to play it, take a run at it, there's always a jam possibility. That's how she scores her deuce. She's got to keep it in front of the tee line, though.
Yeah, just a tad. But just. This will be Shelley's last shot here in end number 4 at the halfway juncture of this game. So I say Graham has a record of 1-2. Pickney is at 2-1. And other ladies' standings is you have Armstrong at 3-0, and then we have a litany of players, teams at 2-1. Robertshaw 2-1, Hanlon 2-1, McPhee 2-1, Malay 2-1. And Smith is at 1-2, as is Graham, and Tatlock and Hicks are 0-3. And we do have some 2-1 teams playing against each other this evening, so there will be teams at 2-2. So we'll be using the tie-break procedure, obviously, in the war room. And the teams will know if they have to get up early or not. Or don't get up at all.
Most are hoping to be on the ice tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Well, if you're in the top 2, and it looks obviously, nothing's for sure yet, but the top 2 teams get a bye to semis. The other 4 teams will be playing off in the 8:30.
Oh, finished okay. think that stone was hanging out for a long time. It didn't finish like the others. Now, can Pinckney remove it to score her 2 points? Looks like red is second shot. I think it was pushed far enough, so should be hoping to come across the, hoping Mary's stone will come across the face of it enough to push it out without disturbing the red stone, and they should get their deuce.
Final shot, fourth end. 1-1.
Calling sweepers on early and hard. Wonder if this is going to overcurl.
Yes, it's going to rack up against that lead one.
So it's a steal of one. Very unfortunate that it curled too much. So so Graham scores one in the fourth, so she takes a 2-1 lead.
Watch inside the AUS for a look at what makes Atlantic University sport the ultimate student-athlete experience. Inside the AUS is available to Vibe customers in Atlantic Canada on Channel 1, Vibe TV 1, powered by Bell Alliance. Keith Rains and Kevin Baban here at Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club here for the 6th annual Jim Sullivan Curling Classic. 18 men's teams, 10 women's teams, 8 men's teams will go on to the playoffs tomorrow. 6 women's teams will go on, and this is the last round robin draw for the ladies. So their fate will be determined in the next hour or so on who will be playing in tomorrow's championship Sunday, as these teams prepare for their provincial playdowns. New Brunswick is going. I imagine the other provinces too, Kevin, would be starting the Scotties around the same time, early January, because of the Olympic year.
I suspect so. Sarah Mallet was forced to her one in the fourth end by Robin McPhee, who now is a hammerback and leads Sarah 2-1, and they're playing the fifth end. Now we see the Pinckney team trying to generate a little bit of offense, putting up a corner guard. It'll be the first corner guard we've seen during this match.
Yes.
I hope people in the St. John area take the opportunity either for the later draw tonight or tomorrow morning to drop by and watch some of these teams curl. There's great shots every game on every sheet, and it's very fun to watch.
Well, you're probably going to see some provincial champions that are playing here right now that will be representing their provinces at the Briar or the Scotties.
And there are a lot of past champions here.
Yeah.
Obviously, with 9 o'clock draw with James Grattan, I think he's been to the Briar 11 times. You have Robin McPhee from Prince Edward Island. She's been to the Scotties a few times. Of course, Heidi Hanlon is.
Yeah.
What, I don't know how many provincial championships.
Well,
Heidi
Jeremy
has.
Millay is a former tanker champion, from TSA.
Jamie Murphy.
Jamie Murphy. Shelley Graham's always in the hunt Robichaud, because Melissa Adams is on her team this year, so that's a strong team. So there's a lot of, it's almost like a mini maritime championship going on here.
Of course, Mark Dacey is here from Nova Scotia. He's a former Brier champion.
And we have a Newfoundland contingent here also this week. So, hey, it could be an Atlantic champion. So I know we don't have any Newfoundland women's teams here, but maybe next year.
So some great talent. So it's a great opportunity whether you are a seasoned curler or new to the sport. Just drop by. It's free of charge. Come on in. Grab a beverage. Speak to some of your friends. Meet new friends. And watch some great curling at the same time.
It's hanging out. Just gets a piece.
Rolls out. There's not enough of it. Just talk about great shots on the sheet next to us. Jamie Murphy just threw a very nice come through the hole double. I find it difficult to watch curling because there are so many games going on that my
you get
attention-
distracted.
Oh, very easily, very easily.
Oh, so are you a flicker? My
Uh.
wife really can't handle it. She goes, okay, you're going to have to go upstairs now. Flick over the hockey game, boop, watch a little bit of Modern Family, boop, back to the game, boop, oh, basketball's on, hey!
Actually, I'm not, but just something about a curling club.
Yeah. What's going on over there?
We got 8 games going on, and
Squirrel.
and sometimes I have to apologize because I missed the call on our sheet because I'm looking at a great shot on another one.
How's Dobson doing over there? Oh, yeah, look at that. What's Heidi doing?
Heidi's not doing well.
No, Robert and Heidi's not. No, it's 6-3 now. But
Sylvie Robichaud has a hammer.
Yeah, it's not good. Oh, it's good for Sylvie. Not so good for Heidi. Because Heidi is, she has a record 2-1, as does Robichaud 2-1. So obviously 3-1, you're going to secure your position in the playoffs. 2-2, that's going to be a little scary for some teams.
Jennifer Armstrong has her game well in hand against Kathy Hicks. It's 7-1, now playing the 5th end. So she stole 3 in the 4th end. Stone's coming in nicely. Sit on top of the yellow. Very well done. Very difficult stone to move. Connie's being asked to follow that one and actually put it to the face of the last stone. That's curling a lot. Right over curl.
Gonna rest up there.
Yeah, it's over curling, so you just left it.
Such a fine line, isn't it? Like, you want to throw it just enough so the curl takes in, but if you throw it too light, then it curls too much.
fine line, just like fine art.
Fine.
But when I play, it's more like abstract. It's not
more,
easy to
where is it?
understand.
It's more like abstract.
Yes.
From a Picasso to. So who is on your squad?
Well, are
you-
the same group that I trashed last year when we were doing this?
Okay.
They've all come back.
Wow.
I don't understand why.
I don't understand that. Who are these poor souls?
Well, it was Billy, who was
Billy Gates.
from
Obviously, he
Oscar.
must be your major sponsor.
Jimmy Knox, realtor.
Jim Knox, yes.
Jim's a good friend of ours.
And
Mike O'Neill's been out cleaning the ice before this draw.
yeah,
Mike's been a girl with Mike for a number of years.
okay.
And Peter Kelly.
Peter Kelly.
Pete's,
How do I know Peter Kelly? How does that?
well,
name?
his son is a very good hockey player. His son was actually on the Vito's team last year. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, Kelly.
And he's playing on Nova Scotia now. But so Pete plays with us on Thursday night as well. So we have a.
Now, do you just play Thursdays or you play Tuesdays too? or-
I occasionally play on Tuesdays. I
So
guess I play
what's-
for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I
So
guess.
what's the deal on Tuesdays? Like, is that a different league, division? What?
Yes, well, it's a little bit more competitive, so I lose by bigger scores when I curl on
Thursday nights I
Tuesdays.
lose by.
Yeah, on Thursday night the scores are I lose, but it's normally a lot closer than they are on
Okay.
Tuesday.
Yeah, because I've heard quite a bit of the boys that are come up in the booth. They say, "Oh yeah, play Tuesdays, play Thursdays." You know, different teams. Oh, look at this! Look at
Check
that!
the ro-
Let's do
Rob,
it. However you get it done, just get her done.
Off the guard.
now
I don't
that's-
think that was called.
Well,
Was
you
that a
check-
plan B? I think that was a plan B.
You know, and it's sitting on frozen.
Yeah, I know, beautiful.
Yellowstone and shot stone.
Couldn't have placed it any better.
So Shelley's looking at this and saying, well, I can't really move it. So, maybe if I could put another one to the face of it and just move the back one a little bit. Just come up to it and push the yellow stone back a little bit. Next shot, maybe we can move that red one off the button. So she's thinking 2 or 3 shots ahead here.
Yeah. That's what the good curlers do.
That's what I'm told the good curlers do.
Does Mr. Bonner curl?
He does. All right.
I thought you
mentioned
guys would be on a
he
team
got-
together.
He got a new broom. No, this year
Would
he
that
decided-
affect the friendship if you guys played on the same team?
No, we played on the same team last year.
But you're not playing this year, though.
No.
So he probably could have done something to the.
Now, there's a missed opportunity. The stone just curled too much, and it was light. And at the very least, Connie would have liked to have.
Cut that in a little deeper.
Well, even if you're a little bit heavy and you hit
Yeah.
it and rolled out, get rid of your own Yellowstone at the back. At least that would make it easier to get rid of the red. You only take one shot. Now you're looking at 2 shots to remove that red, and Colleen knows that. So she said, "Well, let's put our own on top of it."
And
Now this one's light as well.
Yeah.
So
this end, we've seen those shots over and over again. Look,
I wonder if the ice is getting a little flat down in that area, and because there's a lot of stones that
well, and they're short.
coming up short.
Yes. I mean, as you can see, how many rocks we have on the right side there.
And that can happen. Bevel can break down a little bit and get some flat spots.
Is it slanted? are we walking down that side too much? What's happening here? There seems to be like there's one rock on the left side of the center line. Everything else is center or to the right. So getting back to the Bonner situation where you used to play together, but you're saying It has nothing to do with what happened. What happened? Just he
Well,
was
he's-
too busy this year.
Yeah,
Couldn't make a commitment.
Yeah, well, he's playing on another night. He does. He's quite the athlete. He plays a little bit of hockey. So
Okay. Now.
he doesn't want to use up all of his talent on a curling sheet. He wants to spread it out.
Okay. Okay. I'll buy it. If that's what you're selling, I'll buy it then. I have my doubts though, I'm just saying. Played, curled 1 year together, close friends, all of a sudden they're out curling together, yeah. And it had nothing to do with it. Okay, okay. I guess this must be the first year he's playing hockey. Sure. Okay. As long as you bought it, Kevin, okay.
I can still sleep at night.
Okay, yeah.
So Shelley really has to hit that red stone.
She sort of fell coming out there. How the heck there?
Take a little stones
Yeah.
a little bit.
And it's staying right there. Got it.
Oh,
Ooh.
the angle I had, I thought it might have been frozen. Of course, I don't have a monitor, so
Oh, yeah. Throw that one out at us.
that turned out very well.
Yeah.
Since
You
you have
can
the
see-
monitor over there, Keith, can you tell me?
Yeah, you can
how
come on
many
over. Come on
push-ups?
over, Kev. Come on over. Let's take a look. Let's go for a little walk here. Here we go. Look at all those rocks.
So yellow's lying one.
And yep,
That red one they just
That'd be-
touched is the second shot.
second shot, and yellow would be third. Okay.
Go back to my place over here.
Get back to your perch.
Sarah Malley stole one in the fifth, so she's tied with Robin McPhee, 2-2 in the sixth end. Update on the Dobson-Sullivan game. It is now 7-2 for the Dobson foursome. And Mayhew has stolen another one from Talon. It's 4-0. And they are in the fifth end. So we're down to skip stones. Red does have the hammer. It's well swept. Now, Shelley will obviously want to hit it and roll over, and she might even be able to sit number 2 nicely in that pocket, over well guarded. Shot rock is wide open. So she'll be throwing an intern hit.
Sorry, I was watching the other sheet.
Were you watching
Wayne
sheet 4?
Talon there was trying to get into the hole there, just rubbed up against the guard there.
Done on sheet 4. Bringing all the stones back, and I don't know what happened in the
I think Smith
Fifth.
must have scored a bunch.
Smith
Because
ahead
it was
5-2.
5-2, yeah.
Yeah.
And so if that is the case, I have to update mine. So Smith would move to 2-2. And who was she playing against? Tatlock? Tatlock goes to 0-4.
Are you going to be able to hold it?
Oh, she got it. Just not enough knocked. So we have yellow is shot. And red, yellow is shot 1 and 3. Could be 1, 3, and 4. Yeah. And red is
number 2.
Well, no, red is 1, and yellow. No, yes, red is 2. Come on down. You want to come down?
No.
Really?
I'll take
Is
your
it
word
too
for
far?
No.
Too far.
So
How's that conditioning program going of yours?
So yellow is 1, 3, and 4 is what you're saying.
Okay, wait a second. Yellow is 1, 3, and 4. That's what I'm saying. Okay?
And this is the last stone of the end.
It's been a long day, folks. Bear with us, okay?
So Mary Driscoll attempt just to push the Yellowstone back a little bit and score a deuce. She looks a little light. Does she have enough? So it's a steal of 1 for the Graham rink.
And poor Mary has been having those shots today that have been coming up a little light. I guess not using her sweepers as much as she could, I guess.
Well, she used them on that shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you could. Yes. Yeah, I know what you mean. Duh. Okay, maybe not to that extreme. Oh dear.
Yeah, she was a little, seemed to be a little light because they were on it all the way.
Yeah.
Keith, and so you have to think it was light coming out of her hand.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, there is a steal of 1, so that puts Graham up 3-1 here at the end of 5. And looking at the other rinks, we have Dobson up 7-2 over Sullivan. Mayhew is up 4-0 over Talon. And Dexter and Murphy are... It's 2-1 Dexter over Murphy now. That's a tight game down there. Smith has defeated Tatlock in women's play. Armstrong and Hicks 4-2.
7-2.
Oh, 7. Sorry, the post. Oh, yeah, sorry. I have to move. Yes, Mr. Kevin, you're correct. Hawkeye. That's a 7-2 for Armstrong. Hanlon and Robichaud and Kathy Floyd is she's moved. So we have a 6-3 game. Robichaud over Hanlon. And then our last match is McPhee and Mallet, and they're in a battle down there. 2 apiece. Wow. And that's going to be an interesting game because McPhee and Mallet are both 2-1. And so is Robichaud and Hanlon. But Robichaud does have the upper hand in that match. And here we are. We have a 3-1 game for Graham. Graham is fighting for her playoff life. She's at 1-2 with her record, and Pickney is at 2-1. And obviously, if the ladies from Nova Scotia could make their life a lot easier if they could come back and win this 3-1, that would definitely vault them into the playoffs. But at 2-2, I don't know how well they've been shooting closest to the center here. The button, as you might say.
Shelley Graham, let's take advantage of the stones in front of the house. Like to be in the house behind those guards in front and get Colleen Pinckney to start chasing her. But halfway between the house and the hog line, we have 3 stones in front of the house. I believe the Pinckney team wants to just call on one for the edge at the edge of the 12 over on the side of the sheet. Bring it into the house. Trying to come through the hole. Looking good. Does have enough weight? It's going to be an interesting end.
Well, yeah, this is a critical end here. The 6th end. You like to win this end, 6th end. Get your 2. Give up 1 in the 7th, and then have the hammer again in the 8th. So the 6th end is always a critical end here. Be sure to follow TV1 Atlantic on social media. You can join the conversation at TV1_Atlantic on Twitter and Instagram. And on Facebook, it's TV1 Atlantic. Vibe TV1, powered by Bell Alliant. Keith Rains, Kevin Babineau. Am I crucifying your name now?
Yeah, you are.
Sorry. Kevin, bye-bye.
It's no problem, Keith.
No, it's all right, because I do that as the day wears on. That's why I get you introducing the teams. There's a reason behind my madness. My wife says I sort of create a new language sometimes with the English language on some of the words and my pronunciations. Sorry, Kev.
No problem.
I never call you by your last name, so that's my problem.
Shelley Graham would just wanted to get rid of at least one of the red stones. She's in a position where she would like to force Colleen to take one. And she didn't want to find herself in a situation where one stone would be bumped up and be no way to get at it, and then Colleen will come around for either number 2 or number 3 a little bit later in the end. And now on the other side, you have the the team trying to, since they do have last shot, you have Pinckney trying to clear out the front a little bit. So they're both trying to clear out the front for different reasons. The reason Colleen wanted to move those stones is that they're close to the center line, so blocking the 4-foot. I'm sure she doesn't have much concern for the yellow one that's on the outside of the 4-foot line. So Shelley could get aggressive and try to put one in the house, top of the 4-foot, but she's decided to just eliminate red stones. Call the sweepers off. She's waving at the stone, so I don't know if it's
Is that going to go right through that hole? Look at that. Oh. Door is open. Just slightly. Pinckney would love to tie this all up in this end.
So we bump that one up. See, the thing is that if you're trying to score 2 or more, you like to have some stones in front of the house, so you Don't want to.
Want to clear it out too much.
No, that's correct. So if you come through a little hole, you put one at the top of the forefoot. Be well guarded. I don't know if she's a little heavy. She stayed out there a little bit long. Just don't.
Roll in. Nope. Well, Talon came back in the 5th end, scored 3 to make that a 4-3 game going into 6.
Shaking hands on sheet 8.
Dobson victorious over Sullivan.
Just picked up one more in the 6th end to win that game 8-2. Trying to hold it out there.
So Dave, is that Charlie's uncle?
Yes.
Okay.
So Dave has a brother, Charlie.
Wait a sec, wait. Dave has a brother, Charlie, yes.
They've curled many years together at seniors and Briars.
Okay.
And Charlie, in fact, was just upstairs here a
Now,
short while ago.
now with Charlie Jr.,
Yes.
that I know, well, would he have been Jim Sullivan's cousin?
Yes, that's correct. And they're both on the world team together, the World Championship Junior team.
Oh, they were. That picture that I see downstairs.
Yes.
That's Charlie. Oh, okay. Who else was on that team, Kev? Trivia question.
I think Steve Burgess, whose son is actually, I believe, curling with, I could be mistaken here,
Yeah.
but Stephen is curling with, who's he curling with? Mark Dacey, I believe.
Okay. And who was the 4th guy?
It'll come to me.
It's always the 4th guy, right? You know what would be cool? Just throwing it out here, is to have like a trivia book on Thistle, or just a book of whatever you like to call it. All the different winners, all the little, maybe the different nicknames, how the rink become Thistle and St. Andrews. There's a lot of little storylines here, and there's so many. As I was saying earlier, I said you look around this this facility. It's like the old Montreal Forum with the championship banners hanging from the walls, the tankards, the Scotties, the mix, the
Firefighters champions.
firefighter
juniors.
champions, provincial mixed champions, U18 champions.
Does have a lot of history.
Yeah, I just think it'd be a great book to have. That and the Steve Thompson book that's on winning curling. There you go. And here we
Bridget's
are.
being asked to open up the front a little because after Connie had a perfect draw to the tee line,
Okay, it opens it up a little.
that's what she was hoping for. Now of course, Shelley's asking for a guard, but she'd like to see the guard in the house, so just top of the 12 foot. Get a biter on top of the 12 right around the center line. She realizes it's her opportunity, another opportunity to steal yet another point.
Yeah, because she stole one in the second, or in the fourth, and in the fifth. Yes. Because she scored one in the third, and then the Pickney had hammer, and she stole one in the fourth, and then she stole one in the fifth. That's where those shots have come up a little light. But Shelley's been curling well. Curling well and putting the pressure on the other team.
That's right. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Sweepers are just keeping an eye on it, keeping it clean a little bit. It's going to do some curling. Slowing down now. It's well placed. She was hoping at the top of the 12, but that's not a bad shot by any means. Forces Colleen Pickney to open up the front, or try to. If you hit them right, hit the red one first, and come back and then hit the yellow, and get a few stones moving. And this is Mary Driscoll's first skip stone of the end. She does have hammer. Didn't get the action off of it that she was hoping. So, another, really a guard. Guard it in front, but coming into the houses is not a bad thing at this point. You never know. You could steal one, you could steal two. Game seems to be over a nice 3. Armstrong and Kathy Hicks. Jen Armstrong won that game.
Yes, I will put that down, sir. So Armstrong finishes at 4-0, and Hicks is 0-4. So it looks like Armstrong will finish first in the women's side to get a bye into the semis for tomorrow. And that will be, the semis will be at 12 o'clock here at Thistle St. Andrews.
Don't want this deep. Try to close off the hole a little bit. Nice. Nice shot. I don't see a way for Colleen to get at shot rock unless it's Ray's takeout. Actually, a double takeout.
Seven's done.
There's the opportunity. She is looking at this, the one on the center line.
3, 4, 8.
And promoting that one. So one of the challenging things about calling the game and being the skip and have someone else throwing skip stones, when it comes down to a shot like this, ultimately you're going to leave it to the person throwing the stone to be, you know, what do you want to do? What do you feel most comfortable
That's
doing?
right.
Skips a lot of time will take it upon themselves and say, and they'll make that decision for themselves. But in a case like this, calling, speaking to Mary and say, you know, I think we can do this or we should do this, and these are our options, but the person throwing the stone has to be on board with it. So I'm not sure what they decided. She's playing the double or the raise.
Last shot in this end for the...
Playing the double, I think.
Looking at
No, she's
2
trying
Graham.
to cut through the hole. She's trying to cut through that hole.
It's not there. And again, just a little...
It's a steal of 2.
Yeah.
steal of 2, so Graham now leads 5-1 after 6.
It's going to be a tough hole to climb out of that.
Robin McPhee has scored 1 in the 3rd. She leads Sarah Malley 3-2. They're in the 7th. Malley has hammer, obviously. Heidi Hanlon is down 6-4 now. So she did steal 1 in the 5th. Only 5 games left. Once again, the Dexter-Murphy battle. A lot of stones in play. Makes for a fun game to watch. You have good throwers and you have lots of stones in play. Shelley Graham will want this in the house. She doesn't want any clutter in the front. She has command of this game. She has control of it, so. At this point, she wouldn't mind giving up 1.
Well, that was the end right there. I mean, on the previous end, like there was the shots that were a little short, but and that's what happened again. Either she's throwing it inside the broom, or she's not giving it enough oomph. Right? With those shots that are, because they're biting in at the end there.
Another one in the house. Some might be tempted to throw it through.
Yeah, I'd probably like to keep it as clean as possible.
That's right. Say she doesn't mind giving up 1 or even 2 at this point. Coming home.
Yeah, come home with hammer in the 8th.
That's right. And if you're up by 2, it's not a bad situation to be in. I think I was in that situation once.
Once. They told me I was.
That works out. Ideally, you'd like to have it in front of the tee line. That's why some would have thrown it through.
Yes.
So wouldn't give the opposition a chance to come up and sit on top of it.
And that's what the book says.
I had a book once.
A book once.
Girls are working it hard. Get in the house. It's a little short. Shelley Graham is worked out awfully well. Shelley was asking Taryn Abernathy to peeled the one and hit the red one. Unfortunately, I don't think she wanted her Yellowstone to stay there, but she got the dangerous stone into play. Well, shaking hands on the sheet next to us. It looks, well, Mayhew was leading 4-3, and
There's a lot of red rocks there.
yeah, and he hasn't thrown his last rock, but he was drawing for 6. So Wayne Town just decided to
Stop the bleeding.
called Uncle, and
Let's get inside where it's warm.
that's right. So asking for an appeal. Taryn is from South Teddagush, so for any of you who don't know where South Teddagush is, it's a suburb of Bathurst.
Oh, that's suburb of Bathurst. That's good. Oh, that's rich. And it's nowhere near Teddagush.
No, that's a different province.
That's a different province.
Sylvie Robichaud picked up 1 in the 6th. She leads Heidi Hanlon 7-4. They are in the 7th end.
And the other battle, the real battle's down there with McPhee and Malay. 3-2 after 6. And they're only got a few stones left. Well, no, I guess they blank 7? I'm taking a walk.
It's not, well, it's not.
I don't think they posted yet because they're coming back home here for 8. Right?
They are.
Yeah.
And we're in a bad position to see how many stones have been thrown.
Oh, there's it's going up 2. So she's up 5-2 now. McPhee scored.
Stole 2.
Yeah.
Stole 2.
So that's going to be a tough mountain to climb now for Malay. So it looks like McPhee will be. Now it's not over yet, but our what's the word I'm looking for? See, because I'm crucifying that word.
Prognosis?
No, prognosticators, or the guys who. Come on.
It feels like we're playing charades here. You're making
Sounds
all
like
you're making all these.
What time?
Doing all these
Let's see.
all these moves.
It's been 12 hours now. Okay. Guys who makes predictions. Come on. Work with me, Ken.
Politicians. They make predictions.
Jeez, no, they just lie.
Prognosticators.
Yes, that's the word. That's the
Gotta
word.
have a little bit of fun with you.
That's the word. Anyway, she could be moving to 3-1.
So where were we?
I know.
Yeah.
Who's on first? No, he's on. What's on second?
This end has really played out nicely for Shelley Graham. Very few stones in play. Colleen Pigney has been trying to generate some offense, but she really hasn't been able to do it.
No, this has been a solid game by the Graham team, and Shelley has curled very well this evening to give her team a chance. Like again, we don't know. I didn't get a chance to look at the board on the measurements closest to the button, but first of all, you got to win. and she needed to pull out a victory tonight, and it looks like she's done that. And now Pickney and Graham will be, there's going to be a log jam at 2-2. So it will go to that tie-breaking system, and we'll announce, obviously, at our 9 o'clock round who will be in the women's draw.
It's a nice looking stone here. Taking advantage of the yellow stones behind the tee line. Want to freeze it right up there. Now, Shelley Graham will be wondering if she's trying to take that out and not jam it in the back. The back ones. So she wouldn't mind getting rid of the ones on the back if it happened to touch them on the way by, and get rid of one of them anyway. But this doesn't pot it. If she pots it, Mary Driscoll will be asked to come around that corner guard with her next shot. Then all of a sudden 3 is in play.
Dun 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 dun. And there's a chance. Slim. Got to have some faith here. They're down 5-1. It was actually Pickney went up first, going up 1-0 in the third. Graham tied it up, and then Graham stole single points in the 4th and 5th end to go up 3-1, and then in the 6th end she scored a deuce. Stole 2 more. She stole quite a few points tonight to go up 5-1 after 6.
Well, that's not terrible. Get rid of that corner guard. She missed on the professional side. I don't think she was playing to get rid of the guard, but if you're going to miss, that's where you want to miss.
Oh, so we have a pro side and amateur side, just like in putting.
Exactly. Yep.
Going to miss on the high side. Don't miss on the low. At least you gave your ball a chance to go in the hole.
Out-turn draw. Like to freeze to her own, line them up so if they are hit, jam on the back, but doesn't. That's. Slides to the house. That still might be a biter. Mary's been struggling with her weight this evening. Makes it for a tough game when you know you're not throwing your best, and you feel like you're letting your teammates down. Just want it to end.
Well,
sometimes the harder you try.
Well, I seen that in one of the previous draws there. Just finding that right weight and curl, and what was happening with some of them, they were throwing a little light, and it was curling, biting in, and then when they just throw a little harder, well, then it wasn't curling, and it would just, continue to go and sail on through. So there is a very, very fine line there. But that's why you play in tournaments like this. Get yourself ready. So, okay, it's all about adjustments, and making those adjustments, and the better teams and the better players, they can make those adjustments a little quicker, but it will come, and that's why the more you can play and get yourself in those situations, and when the opportunity presents itself again, you're ready for the challenge.
Many times I've been in a game where as a thrower you just know what draw weight is.
Yeah.
And you're confident that you can put it anywhere. And other games you'll find that weight. All during right through the game. So it's fickle. You know, some days you get it, some days
Yep.
you don't. So this is the last stone of this end. Let's look at any possible way to get to.
And they're shaking hands down with McPhee and Millay. So I'm thinking
Yep.
McPhee.
She did win because they're still pushing a few stones down the ice.
So that will move
Simon
McPhee to 3-1 and Millay to 2-2.
You mentioned earlier about the riverboat. I will put a plug in. That,
Go ahead, Kevin Babat, with a plug.
As
The
one
new. How do you become a riverboat captain? First of all, miss a meeting or what? How's that all work?
Actually, I consider it quite an honor.
Well, it is. Yeah, you're going to get your name up downstairs.
There's a long history of captains.
How many?
Well, it's been 36 so far. One for every year.
So you're 37.
I'll be 37.
Well, it's just like the presidents of the United States. There's 44, 45.
We're going to catch up to them.
So are you going to have a hat with 37 on it?
Yes, I will.
Woohoo! And I know you. Wow. Go ahead. So plug.
So she gets her one. So Mary threw that hit and scored her one, and so it's a 5-2 game coming home without the hammer. So it's so Shelley Graham's in a great place, great position to win this game. So yeah, what I wanted to say is one participant this year mentioned to me. They said it's the best spiel in the province, the best curling spiel in the province. It's not the best talent, but it is lots of fun, lots of good food, lots of entertainment, and it's been going on for 36 years, and it's in the fall, the beginning of the curling season, right here at Thistle St. Andrews.
40 teams?
Well, this year we had 40. Last year, I believe we had 42 or 44.
How many can you handle?
I think we could go as high as 48. We'll be pushing it
Really?
at 48. But this year we had 5 teams from Maine, one team from Washington, one from Massachusetts, a few from Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. A good friend of mine in Prince Edward Island, he's hoping to bring a team over next year. I believe last year we had a team from Quebec come in. So it's not highly competitive. A bunch of people getting together and have a good time.
But you have different divisions as it goes on? Is that how it works out?
Basically it's like most other draws. It's guaranteed 3 games, and
Then what happens after that?
then you're at the bar after 3 games if they don't turn out well. In fact, I think we do have a prize for the shipwreck team.
The shipwreck team.
Is the
my
team which
goodness.
is the first team eliminated.
Wow, that's
So we obviously we honor
the
that.
shipwreck team.
So it's a lot of fun, and we call it the Riverboat. We have a part of the committee. We have a galley captain, someone to look after the galley. So he's in charge of all the food,
yeah,
and of course.
And
I'll
I
have
hear
a
the
first
food
mate.
is on. Now let's just quickly, because you have a dinner, a roast beef dinner one night, a salmon dinner one night, or
That's
something.
correct. Yeah, and on the third night we'll have usually our sponsor the last few years has been Ron Jones and Wendy's or Eastside Mario's. He runs both of them, and they bring in chili and
And they have good chili.
and there'll be it'll be stew at lunchtime or a chowder or
Jeez.
whatever. So there's a lot of good food and a lot of good times, and it's all about making memories, and any money that the Riverboat Committee makes, we normally end up donating back to the club.
Yeah.
Different projects. So
Great.
money stays in the club. And,
Yeah. No, I know. I've heard.
it's a great time.
Yeah, Steve talked about it a little bit, and
You'll have Jeff Lacey on tomorrow. He was our 35th captain. And so it's quite a tradition, and we have a lot of fun with it. And it's like I say, if you're a highly competitive team, it might not be the place
For you.
because it doesn't make any difference if you win Section A or you runner up in Section G. The prize for Section G just might be better than the A prize. So.
Well, that's good.
So
And that's the right after the Thanksgiving weekend, Canadian Thanksgiving weekend.
that's right. Yeah, and so
In
we're
October. Good time of year.
So if anyone who's watching this who hasn't had a chance to participate, welcoming you to the 37th annual.
So you can just
Riverboat
go on the
Classic.
website and
Yes, or
click on a contact.
Yeah, well, it's actually going to be Jeff Stewart. Jeff Stewart handles registration, or any other committee members, or what we call a crew. Myself.
Who's
Steve
on your
Thompson.
crew?
Oh, there's Danny Armstrong, Steve Thompson.
Cooper, is Coop on this?
Coop's not on that committee. We have Kevin Baxter, Jeff Fry. We have Larry Crawford, Steve Thompson, Dave Hansen.
Okay. Got a good crew.
A great crew, and I know I'm forgetting some. Wade Blanchard.
Well, okay. Yeah.
And who else? Anyway,
It's a good group.
they've been doing it a lot longer than I have.
Yeah,
and
you
they're-
don't have to reinvent the wheel sometimes, do you?
No. And
It's a well-oiled machine, and put it this way, folks. There's teams that come here that put their money down for next year before they leave. So that should tell you something.
So there's my shameless plug.
Okay. I'll send you the bill.
That's a fine shot.
Yeah.
Really taking
Just keep that house clean. That's all they want to do, and just get Picton to run out of rocks. And then there were 3 sheets left.
Jim
Okay.
McDevitt. I got to throw Jim McDevitt's name in. I'm just thinking.
Wow.
Jim's
You're
been-
going through the alphabet there,
Well,
weren't
no,
you?
Jim's been our treasurer for many, many years. Greg Hanlon, Heidi Hanlon's husband, is also
Oh, right.
involved.
Yeah, it's great guy. He's playing with Wade this year, him and Claude Moore.
So we have a committee of about 15 guys. Donnie Ritchie helps us out. John Brown.
Oh, Johnny. Is he going to curl out of here?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know he's a Riverside golfer.
It's different Johnny.
Oh, different Johnny.
There's a different Johnny.
Wow. Hard to believe there's more than one John Brown.
So as we try to run, as the Graham team tries to run the Pinckney team out of rocks,
Yeah.
look over and we'll see that the
Wow.
Show
Hanlon scores 3 in the 7th to tie it up at 7-7. Never count the Hanlon team out. Robershaw was up 7-4. We figured, okay, she's, and
Wasn't
Hanlon
she
come
upset?
back.
She was up at she was up 6-2 at one point, wasn't she?
Yeah, after the third end.
Yeah. So,
Wow. Now,
Heidi has
those draws might be getting a little tighter now.
Heidi is she has got a lot of experience with her on the ice, and
Heart rate 56 beats a minute.
it doesn't change. Stone comes to rest, a couple of feet short of the house, and Shelley Graham promptly puts down her broom and asking Connie Nichols to remove that stone.
Keep it open.
guess a late game tonight. The last game actually on the 5:30 draw is going to be the Dexter Murphy game. They're still they're in their 7th end, down to Skip Stones. Still doing a lot of figuring out there.
4-3 going on there, as far as we can tell. Yeah, because they're in the 7th. So
Dexter does have the hammer, and he's trailing 4-3.
Murphy still never put a sign up. Huge demerit marks there. Huge.
Remove that stone.
Pick it. And now everything's got to be in the house, because you're down 3 and you got 2 rocks left and you got 1 in the house. So my math is telling me, yeah, top 12.
You have to put it somewhere, and wish that you had a cloak of invisibility. You put it over the stone where no one can see it.
What do they call that on the Star Trek there? The shield?
I'm not sure. The old Star Trek?
The old Star Trek, yeah. The one on Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
Just after Land of the Giants.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Come on, let's get a biter.
It's close enough that they won't shake hands yet,
No.
just in case there's
Well,
a
someone might nudge it.
Yeah.
Shelley said, I'll take care of that.
Shelley wants to eliminate all possibilities at this
Yeah.
point.
Flash shot.
Looks like Dexter might have gotten
Look.
one.
Yeah.
Or did.
Here goes. Here's the first shot for Shelley in the 8th inning, but it could be the last shot of the game if she can eliminate this picnic stone. And she gives it a little chip.
And you hear the Velcro
And
coming off.
yes, they're shaking hands.
Sounds of the Velcro. So Dexter did steal one before we leave. That game is all tied up at 4. Dexter will have the hammer playing the last end, and they are still in the 8th end, the Hanlon and Rubber Show game. They are all tied up at 7, and there.
So Murphy will have the hammer going in 8th on Dexter.
That's right.
Dexter's-
Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's happening over on, you said Hanlon and Roberts all tied up at 7s going into the last end. And yeah, that's exciting.
And they are down to mate stones.
So we're back on the air again in about an hour on our final match of the day. And who do we have on that? Let's see.
Mark Dacey and James Grattan, I believe.
9 p.m. Grattan and yeah, Dacey. So that'll be our 9 o'clock feature. Listen, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us here. We thank you folks for tuning in. And like I said, we're going to be back on about an hour for the 9 o'clock draw. And tomorrow morning, 8:30 quarterfinals, 12 o'clock semifinals, 3 o'clock championship finals. And that's right here on Bell Alliant TV1 webcast. This is Keith Rain signing off from Thistle St. Andrews.